Good morning, everybody. I am going to get my washing machine working for me today, and then we are going to head off to the P.O. box to ship off some cookbooks and t-shirts, and then we're going to head to the library. So we're back home here. Actually, we've been home for hours, and I am just trying to do sort of a house reset. We have been either gone or celebrating birthdays and gone, or celebrating graduation or cleaning up, whatever. Just, it has been a super full, I want to say like 8 or 9 days, just super full. A house reset is really just getting the floors cleaned and putting away most of the clutter. So I probably am not going to get through all of the clutter that's just kind of laying around, but I'm going to try to get most of the clutter picked up. I'm working on sweeping right now, just vacuumed a rug. Kids are watching a movie, and so I always say no TV until 3, and so it's after 3, so they're in there just watching a movie, and it's actually a good time for me to just kind of sweep and get some things done without them wanting my attention for something else, because you would think that it's only toddlers and that need your attention, but oh no, the older kids, they want my attention too. Let's go do this, Mom. Can you do this? Watch me do this. Read to me. Can I read to you? Can I read out loud to you? Can you play a game? All those things, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get this stuff swept and then just work. Like some of the clutter I'm talking about would be, well, we've got a little car there. I have a cooler. I have curtains that I want to get listed on Facebook Marketplace. I have, you know, there's just like random, there's bracelet making kits and books and a blanket, a box with a couple things I picked up from, that I had delivered from Amazon. There's some stuff there, I don't even know what that is, painting, and looks like a broken camera piece. I don't know. So that's what I mean by just kind of random bits of clutter. Well, look at here. It's the next morning already, and I am back at my washing machine. I just wanted to point out that sometimes I use the term get your washing machine working for you, and I guess what I mean by that is just if you're going to be going outside to do some gardening, or you're going to be going to town, get the washing machine started before you leave. As soon as you get home, you know, you kind of just get into a habit of checking, oh, do I have something in the washer? I need to switch it over. And for those of you that really struggle with keeping up with the laundry, it's a great way just to form a habit of, like I said, before you go outside, just get the load going and transfer it over. Are you coming out to pick beans? Yeah? You want to get yourself like a bowl or a plastic bag or something? Awesome. Peter's coming down to help me pick beans. And it's early. I mean, not early, but it's, I don't know, 7:30, something like that. We have like fun activities planned for later in the day. It's our last homeschool co-op summer day. So throughout the summer, we have one in June, one in July, one in August, where we meet up at a park and just play. They get to see all their friends, and you know, some of their friends they see on a more regular basis, but there's some friends that, you know, don't go to our same church or whatever, so they just don't see those friends as often. And I think Peter was kind of, I didn't say it, I was thinking it when I said earlier, I said, did you want to come out and pick green beans with me? And he was kind of like, and I was thinking, well, maybe he'll remember that today Mom is going to take a good part of her day to take them to be with friends. And I thought, well, maybe he'll think about that. Okay, well, we got, looks like some beautiful morning glory, and yes, you guys all said morning glory will choke out everything. I believe you. I have been untwisting it from the corn and pulling it, and we must have that deer. Look at that. Look at those deer tracks. They are coming in, and look what they're doing to the beans. They are just eating the tops off of the beans. Are they getting the carrots? No, they don't seem to be bothering the carrots. But the beans, well, this is a bummer. Okay, so there's a lot to be picked today. I know I have not been down here in days, so probably some of these green beans are going to be...
Mom, can I pull this carrot? It's pretty big.
Oh, there is one carrot. Oh, okay. Well, let's check. Is that the biggest one you can find?
Well, then there's one right next to it.
Well, see if you can...
Could be bigger.
You can pull one carrot today, Peter.
Ooh.
You gonna pull one carrot? Do you find one to pull? Ooh. Oh, you got two.
Oh.
Two with one. I thinned them out, but obviously not quite far enough. But oh, are those pretty? They're little, but they're pretty.
They're better than our other ones. Our other ones,
yeah,
they would seriously wind up together and just make like a baseball.
Yeah, they were kind of
carrot,
gross.
and then you would try to chop them, and you like couldn't.
No. All right. Well, Peter.
Corn's getting tasseled.
Yep, the corn is tasseling out, and that is perfect. Look at the tomatoes over there.
I bet these will taste good.
Those are going to taste good. Well, we're going to turn the camera off.
Tomatoes.
I'm not picking tomatoes right now. I'm picking green beans.
I can't believe the deer.
Yep, I can believe the deer. I can believe it. That's what they do. So we are going to get in here, and yes, I know. Look at these green beans. They are enormous. So we're just going to pick and pick and pick. All right, well, Peter and I finished picking the beans. So we have a big bowl, like a Walmart bag full, and then a little bit in this bag. So we have our work cut out for us, buddy. We're going to try to get this all done by noon.
Wait, I have to help with everything?
Well, I'm going to get Maria in to help too. So last week we picked a watermelon, and I had read instructions or whatnot in a garden primer book that I have. And anyway, she only talked about the yellow spot on the bottom as well as the thump. And I picked it, well, yeah, Peter and I picked it, and it was completely white inside with no flavor. And a number of people mentioned to me that you have to wait for this little tendril here to completely dry up. Also, once the stem is dried, and that was not anything that was in the book. And they also said that that would be the same as for the muskmelons. So I just wanted to go over here and look at this muskmelon, which is our one that is the most like the biggest muskmelon, and it looks like the stem is starting to dry. The little tendril right there actually is dry, but a lot of people, they said if you pick it up and it falls off the stem, that means it's ready. So it looks like it is not ready yet. Oh, good. Okay. Looks like we've got a nice size. We've got a nice size green pepper over there.
There's a big cucumber right there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Do you want to pick that?
Sure. And there's another here.
And I think there's one right over here. Do we have big zucchini? Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do something with zucchini today, aren't we?
Zucchini chocolate chip muffins.
So,
Zucchini chocolate chip muffins.
Yep, that's what everybody always wants. All right, well, let's go in. Let's just leave everything else the way it is down here. Sometimes that's how it is. You just have to walk away. Peter, did you pick this cucumber yet? No, it's right here, right? But yeah, sometimes you just have to walk away and deal with whatever it is. Like in this case, it's the green beans. I have to deal with those. I said to Peter, we're going to get those done by noon. And by done, I don't think we're going to get them pressure canned by noon, but I do think we're going to have them all in the jars. And then when we get home, then I can start pressure canning throughout the like late afternoon, early evening. How's the carrot, Peter?
Good.
Is it good? Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is good, isn't it? Actually tastes like a carrot.
That was another thing. Our other ones didn't really even taste like a carrot.
You're right. That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they're so sweet.
It's that thing. It's not in the book because it's just held on by the sticky thing on top, and it from like opening and closing it and like taking like flipping pages, it just fell off.
It fell off now?
Yeah.
That's okay.
No.
I forgot you don't like carrots.
So good. So I've been trying to make a couple updates as far as like decorations in our house. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and I was just saying it's exhausting to me. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and because she is energized, like super energized by thinking about home decor and all of that. What are you doing in the background there, Peter? And I said, for me, it's exhausting just to try to look at like 8 rugs and try to figure out what rug would look good in a room or something. It exhausts me. So anyway, I ordered a couple rugs just for in front of my washer and dryer here, because this whole area I feel is just like an untapped area for, it could be pretty. It could be pretty, and I was just kind of ready to do that. So anyway, I ordered a couple rugs. Between these 2 rugs, I actually like this a little more scrolly rug better in here. It feels very fancy to me because, you know, I just don't have a lot of this type of, this kind of decor in my home. But I do like it a lot. So anyway, I did this, and then I think what I'm going to try to do is pull out this kind of like rust color in here and get just a solid rug to go over here in front of the patio door. And I was kind of thinking maybe of doing some sort of, maybe something different over here. I'm not sure. I don't know. That seems like a lot to have to think about right now. But I did also pick up this from Amazon. The rugs are from Amazon too. I did pick up this, like, they call it just a towel rack. And these arms swing out because I've been hanging a lot of our clothes. It seems like a lot of the clothes now have all these different fibers in them. And if you run them through the dryer, they shrink up just way too fast. A lot of the clothes, the girls' clothes from Kid Pick, especially the shirts, I noticed that if I run them through the dryer, they shrink up too much. A lot of like the dresses and things that I bought Warren a whole like wardrobe revamp from True Classics, all like t-shirts and polos. I think that's it. T-shirts and polos. And I like to only keep those in the dryer for about 10 minutes and then pull them out to hang. And so I really didn't have anywhere great to hang. I had like, you guys, I had a screw on the wall that was just there randomly from something else. So I hang things there. I would hang things from the closet door. And I just thought, you know, I could probably find something. And so I found this, and these arms swing out. And Warren put it up there last night for me high enough so that, you know, it's high enough that I could actually hang a shirt right here to kind of dry. So that's great. My big plan would be to get rid of this like topper thing here and actually have Warren build me like a wood, you know, this whole thing would be wood. Kind of like, maybe you'd call it like a floating shelf or something. And so I would like him to build something wood here. I just thought that would look so pretty. It would make these look like they're built in. All right, now I'm just yammering about home decor. And I'm going to get maybe some prints to put up here. And I found a light that I thought would be really pretty because this is a super dark corner over here. Not at this time of the day because the east sun kind of reflects, off of the back side of the garage there and kind of shines in. But any other time of day, it's so dark in here. And so I just thought it'd be nice to kind of get some lighting in here. So lots of ideas, but like I said, it's exhausting. But I did want to just show you my rug because I do think it's very pretty. And then I did order this one too, just to try, because that was what my friend said. She said, you always order a couple and then you audition them to see which one works. And we actually both agreed that both of these worked really well. But I love this one actually in our schoolroom. So the plan here is to send this one back and get a bigger size. And look, I just vacuumed like yesterday at 3:30 and this is what it already looks like. But I was thinking of replacing this super industrial rug. Maybe that's maybe that's a mistake, but I was just thinking of replacing this industrial rug with that other rug in this, like, this same size, like this. And I thought maybe the sand wouldn't show quite as much, but it's also not an industrial rug. And this seems to make sense for our home. But I just feel like it also, when you walk in the door, right away you're like, oh, industrial. We just take our shoes off here and stomp our feet. And I thought maybe if there was something prettier here, people would be like, oh, we don't want to get that dirty because it's Mom's pretty rug. So all of that yakkaroo, it's time to switch over the laundry.
We don't know what article could be. It could be a Jennifer Weiler show and Jennifer Weiler show. We don't know because it didn't arrive. And this is my life. That we're having the logo installed, and Caitlin, who has attention to detail, I do not, is like there's no need. All
right, well, I've got Maria out here now, and she's going to help me cut the second bowl of beans. And we are listening to a book on an audiobook through Libby. So this is called Full of Beans. It's a book about the Great Depression, or takes place during the Great Depression. I have no idea. Other than that, we just started it. So lots of beans, though. Lots and lots of beans. And we're done.
Yep, gonna take these to the chickens.
Mm-hmm. We have this big bowl, and we have another bowl. Oh, here's one that we missed. I'll just eat that. I'll just eat this one. So Peter made us a pizza lunch, because then we are heading off to the splash pad. Are you looking forward to that, Joe?
No.
You don't like splash pads?
What about Alvin and Chipmunks grinning?
I know, you are watching Alvin and the Chipmunks. Well, we're home. I totally forgot to take my camera along. The kids had a great time at the splash pad. We had our mom's meeting, get things like set up for the new upcoming co-op, homeschool co-op here. And now we got a Blackstone about, I don't even know, it was probably 2 weeks actually. It's been 2 weeks. And you have to do the seasoning thing. And when I first started to season it, it started to rain. So I had to just turn it off and pull it under cover. And I'm back at it. So what you're supposed to do, it's kind of like cast iron in the sense that you put a little bit of oil on it. You're supposed to cook it on high until it starts or stops smoking. And I don't honestly see it smoking right. Well, maybe a little bit. I don't know if that's heat or smoke. But there's still a lot of like oily, kind of like, the oil gets kind of like sticky. So maybe it's not time to add another coat. And anyway, you're supposed to add like 2 tablespoons and then 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons. Do that 3 times. I want to start grilling right now, so I might just call it. So we stopped at down where the splash pad is. There's also like a meat market. They have all kinds of meat, all the way, you know, red meats, chicken, pork. They have all the sausages. Just, it's a meat market. You guys get the picture of what all would be at a meat market. And I've never been in there before, and so we stopped in and we picked up burgers for tonight. They had some bacon and pepper jack and bacon and cheddar, and then just some regular chuck patties. So I picked those up, and that's what we're going to do for supper. We're going to have that with potato chips, and then I have a Caesar salad. So that's it. Super, super simple, and it's just going to be a great summer supper. I'm also going back and forth between the washing machine here and folding clothes today. Yesterday, cycled through tons of laundry, and today, tons of laundry. So the goal is here to get all of this wrapped up by tonight. We've been watching The Chosen. We finally started watching that last week, and so we've just been picking up the seasons from the library and watching those. So we watch like 1 episode a night. So tonight, we're hoping to watch that. It's only just barely not even 140. Well, up close here is what our supper is going to be looking like. We have the salad and buns. We have a bag of chips. But let's stand back. And yeah, that's what my kitchen is looking like right now. Peter is serving up one of the burgers. So did I say he's had like onions. I bet we do. Let me check, okay? But burgers look so good. They look like mini cakes. Yep, exactly like little mini cakes. So Peter was just making some cake mix cookies here, but he was thinking he was supposed to follow the cake mix recipe instead of the recipe in the cookbook for cake mix cookies. But anyway, it's all gonna be fine. They're gonna get eaten. Everybody's gonna love them. I am working on getting the beans. Yesterday, we were able to get all of the beans. Whoops, that got stuck. We're able to get all the beans cut. It took us about 20 minutes longer than we thought it was going to take. But now today we're gonna get these all packaged. I'm gonna get them all jarred up and get these pressure canned. So at this point, I put a teaspoon of salt into each one of these, and I'm just filling it up to 1 inch from the top, which means a 1-inch headspace. I do have a little bit extra over here, but I wanted to save that quart for cooking up for lunch today. So I ended up with 13 quarts plus that, so 14. I would have ended up with 2 cannerfuls, which I'm really, really happy about. You have to push everything down to get out any air bubbles. I wiped the rims, I put a lid on, and then I just fingertip. Let's see here, here's one. It's just really called fingertip tight. That's it. You don't have to crank them on because the band is just there to hold the lid in place during the pressure canning, and then the ring comes off 24 hours after they come out of the canner. Now for pressure canning, it is best to just read the directions on your pressure canner. Don't be afraid of pressure canning. Just read the directions, follow through. I mean, actually the first time, read and read and read. Maybe read them 3 times. Highlight the things that are important to you, and then go for it. As long as you read the directions and you follow the directions for your canner, I mean, I can't guarantee, there's no guarantees that nothing is gonna go wrong. But the first time that I canned, I just read through the directions. That is the best thing to do. So I'm gonna get my jars in here. 7 is what fits into my pressure canner. I'm gonna turn it up to high right away, even before I have the lid on. Just get the jars going. And then it's always a good idea to just inspect your canner, inspect the ring, make sure that there's no cracks in the rubber ring. You know, these do age, and that can happen, especially if you don't use it regularly. So just inspect everything. And then get the lid on. And then mine has to be on high, and I start a timer when steam starts to come out of the vent, and I have to set the timer for 10 minutes. And I need to vent my canner for 10 minutes before putting the weight on it. While I wait for the 10 minutes to happen with my canner, I wanted to get this chicken breast cut up here because I'm going to make the chicken and rice hot dish, which I'm pretty sure is in cookbook number 1. Once my hands are clean, I'll get that out. But I always just use a big package, big family size package of chicken breast. Get those all cut up into smaller cubes. I have done it where I've only kind of cut them up into like longer strips, and we didn't like that as well. So I always cube it up. Okay, so the pressure has come up, the weight is jiggling. I just turned the heat down because what I'm going for is for it to jiggle like this once, like a jiggle, 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 jiggle once every 15 to 20 seconds. Now again, you have to follow the instructions for your pressure canner. I put the casserole together here, and I'm just going to put this in the fridge until it's time to start baking this up. Since this is big and it starts with raw chicken, it goes at 275 degrees for very close to 3 hours. Sometimes it's done in 2.5, but very close to 3 hours. And the original recipe, here, I'll show it to you guys. You guys can, come on, if it would focus there. You can screenshot that if you'd like. It does call for only 4 chicken breasts and a 9x13 pan. Now, if you make it like that, then 9x13 is fine. But if you use an entire family pack of chicken, you're going to want to use one of these larger casseroles or put it into two smaller ones, because it is going to get very full. Most casseroles, you would not want to put the cheese on right away if you're baking it for 3 hours. But with this one specifically, it says in the directions here to stir once or twice early on. So usually about 30 minutes in, I will stir this, and then I will stir it again at maybe like at an hour. And that way the cheese kind of gets incorporated into it, and it doesn't end up just like turning into this brown, super brown cheese on top. At this point now, our grandkids are coming for like the afternoon and the evening. They should be here within 10 or 15 minutes. And so I'm probably not going to grab the camera anymore today until this casserole comes out of the oven. I'll show you what we do for supper. I'll probably also want to show you the finished green beans, kind of walk you through that whole thing from start to finish. Otherwise, it's just going to be a day of grandkid time. All right, timer is going off. I'm going to turn off the heat, but I'm just going to leave everything right there. It's really important to let, and turn off that. It's really important to just let the canner, the pressure canner, come down, just to depressurize on its own. You do not want to take the weight off. You do not want to try to open it. It will explode. The jars will probably explode. All the liquid might, if they don't explode, the liquid might siphon all out of it. So just let it come down. And how you know, at least for mine, is after about 20 minutes, I'll come and I'll just give this a little tap. And if it goes pss, pss, that means there's still pressure built up in there, and I let it go longer. If it doesn't make any noise when I do that, like no steam escapes, then I know I can take that off and open it up, take the jars out, and let them cool on a doubled towel for 24 hours before taking the rings off and putting them, down in the cellar. Okay, there's no steam coming, so I'm going to open this up and get the jars out. So we're already an hour in, and I'm just going to stir this actually for the first time. I kind of lost track of time. But one of the important things too when you're stirring this is to make sure that the rice gets covered. If there's any rice sticking out a little bit, just kind of make sure it gets covered. So when I stir it, it's not like I'm, really stirring. I still like a little cheese to be on top. Okay, that looks really good. Make sure that that rice is tucked down. Make sure that rice is tucked down. When the chicken and rice hot dish comes out of the oven, so this was in for exactly 3 hours, it might look like a little bit wiggly jiggly there, but I like to let it set for about 15 minutes, and then it just sort of sets up a little bit, and it's just so good. This is such a comfort casserole. I said in my cookbook, under a lot of the recipes, I have like little notes in there as far as like if there's something special that I do, or if we ate this, or if we eat this like at a certain time every year or something. And in there, I just shared that this was actually the first meal that Warren ever cooked for me. He made this for me for Valentine's Day, the first year that we were dating. Well, the only year we were dating, because we got engaged in March and then we got married in December. So but yeah, this is just one of those things that just brings me back, like whatever it is, 26 26? Is it 26 or 27 years now? I don't know why. I can never remember that. But anyway, we are going to have this along with some, ooh, that is hot, along with some green beans. I'm going to turn that off. And the casserole. And I also brought in a cucumber from the garden and some tomatoes. I'm just going to slice those up, and that's what we're going to have for supper tonight.